Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizers for giving this opportunity and my fellow speakers in the dais. I think let us give ourselves a big applause because still we are in the audience and we are hearing our lectures, and probably I think it's a great time when let us give ourselves a big applause for being present and for giving us this opportunity to speak to you at this late hour. I think it's almost close to the day, but I think I should appreciate for your interest in hearing us and learning something new and to take something away from this conference, from our experiences. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. H. Purushottam. I am currently working as Chairman and Managing Director of the National Research Development Corporation, which is under the Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India. This organization, the National Research Development Corporation, was established in the year 1953 with a basic mandate to promote, develop, commercialize indigenously developed technologies from universities, individual inventors, national R&D institutions, and over the period, NRDC has emerged as a specialized technology transfer house. I would like to inform all the knowledge partners and the product suppliers and service providers. If you are given a product or a service to NRDC, means you are given to the entire nation. So that is the kind of a brand image NRDC has, because it serves the needs of all the stakeholders in the country with regard to science, technology transfer and IP management. So you all know that technology transfer is not a child's play. It has got a lot of values of depth in our management of technology transfer literature. We often come across two values of depth in taking the technology from idea to a marketplace. Those values of depth we often refer as the technological value of depth and commercialization value of depth. You all know, I think most of you are aware, what do we mean by technology value of depth and what are the dimensions or the variables or the parameters which can be taken into technology value of depth, and the other one is the commercialization value of depth. So precisely NRDC was established to help the inventors and the entrepreneurs and the researchers to overcome this value of depth. So whatever gaps are there in the technology to cross this value of depth, NRDC precisely provides them. For example, the technology value of depth refers to the technology is not developed fully, which is required to be developed in depth. For example, the effect of process variables in case of the technology, chemical technology or manufacturing technology. What is the effect of temperature on your final yield or the purity? What is the effect of the pressure? What is the effect of the concentration? What is the effect of the impurities? So all these things supposed to be studied and read when the technology is being developed in a large scale or pilot scale. If that is not done, and if you take the technology directly to a commercial scale, there is every possibility that the technology may fail at the commercial scale because you have not studied all these aspects at a laboratory, bench or pilot scale. So to fill those gaps, NRDC provides an assistance or a guidance or techno-commercial support or a financial assistance to fill those gaps in the technology development. Similarly, if you talk about commercialization value of depth, whether the product or technology or the service that you would like to commercialize has got enough market demand, who are the competitors, what price the technology or the product or service can be manufactured or sold. All these parameters need to be assessed before the technology is taken to the licensing stage. So those gaps also will be filled by NRDC. In fact, Dr. Atin has given a very good explanation and prepares the lecture. So I don't have to talk the basics of what is technology transfer. So based on the Atin's lecture, I started taking further how the technology transfer takes place, what kind of challenges, what kind of gaps, and how those gaps are being filled by an agency like NRDC, which was set up by Government of India in this country. So, as I was telling you, NRDC is a storehouse of technology, a house of technology transfer. In fact, the largest technology transfer organization in the country. We have about 100 people working here in the organization, and almost on an average, we transfer our license about 50 technologies in a year. Our low and high certificate There are about I think 30 to 35 technologies for the lowest transfer technologies we carried out, and ALIA has 120 technologies in a year. So on an average, about 50 to 60 technologies we license every year in this country from this organization. So what NRDC does is it connects the source of technology developers like R&D labs, universities, corporate R&D, individual inventors and NGOs who develop these technologies which are required for this country, and evaluate these technologies, identify those gaps in the technologies, and provide the required data for taking the technology to a marketplace and implementation, and license this technology. Rather, we also market this technologies to various entrepreneurs. And while licensing and while developing these technologies, we use all the tools of what many of you are providing to this technology innovation life cycle. For example, the patent databases. Now, variety of patent databases in the market. We do have a number of patent databases we are using. Similarly, the licensing modules, the licensing agreement packages, and the marketing packages. So, like a variety of databases are needed. So, we have been using all these databases. That's what I am saying. If any of your product is being used in NRDC, that means your product is used at a national level. So once we evaluate these gaps, and I also look for entrepreneurs, and we license these technologies to the entrepreneurs by following the standard licensing terms and conditions and negotiations. So this is how the model at NRDC we have devised. What we do is we scan for the technologies. Now the public funded national laboratories and universities and institutions, the public funded organizations, we evaluate those technologies and we identify the common areas of interest between the lab and NRDC, and once we decided these are the technologies which have got a good potential, we evaluate those technologies for marketing and licensing in discussion with the laboratory. Once we decided, yes, these technologies have got a market potential and commercial potential and technological potential, what we do is we sign an MOU with the institute and we evaluate those technologies and provide a number of value-added services like the first and foremost is the IPR protection. Whether the technology requires IPR protection, if it is required at what level, whether India or in PCT. So we evaluate the technology and we decide, and not only we decide, we help the laboratory or the inventor to further protect the technology in terms of writing the patent application, evaluating the claims, and finally applying in a patent office and seeking the prosecution and maintaining it till the end. NRDC takes care of if there are IPRs needs to be protected. NRDC takes the total responsibility and help the inventors in protecting the IPRs. Once that is done, one more important thing is taking the technology to a marketplace. The technology of the product needs to be prototyped and field tested. That is where the validation of the technology comes into the picture. If this is not done, again, if the entrepreneur or the company which would like to explore this technology may not like to buy this technology. So NRDC also helps the inventors, the institutions, the labs to further validate this technology by developing a prototype and carrying out a field trials, which is again a very complex and time-consuming and cost-intensive. So we also help institutions by providing financial assistance for carrying the field trials or clinical trials also in case of the pharma and drug products. Then one more important thing is the market research and survey. This is also very important. As I was mentioning to you, the commercialization value of that basically comes on account of lack of data on the market research part and the market survey. So that also NRDC takes care of. Then we prepare a basic engineering package which tells us what is available plant capacity, what are the plant and machinery requirements, and what are the material balance, energy balance, the utilities requirement. All those things will come out to the picture if the entrepreneur wants to commercialize this technology. That also will be prepared by NRDC. We also prepare a technical feasibility report and also a detailed project report which is required by the financing institutions or bankers. So that assistance also will be provided by NRDC. Then the regulatory dossiers. In case of majority of technologies nowadays, requires regulatory approvals. The entrepreneurs or the inventors, they are not very much familiar how to fill these dossiers, how to negotiate, how to coordinate. So NRDC provides such kind of help also. Apart from this, we also give a lot of publicity and marketing assistance for both the inventors as well as the entrepreneurs who are commercializing these technologies. So what I would like to impress upon you is NRDC is not only a simple licensing organization, it also facilitates development and packaging the technologies. So once we identify the entrepreneur and technology transfer licensing terms and conditions are negotiated, and we sign a tripartite agreement between the institute which has developed this technology, NRDC as a licensing agency, and the company which would like to implement this technology at a commercial scale. Once we sign the tripartite agreement, and we ask the laboratory to arrange a demonstration of this technology to the entrepreneur or a company or a startup to understand, transfer the knowledge of the technology to the entrepreneurs. Once that is done, the company will establish a commercial venture. Again, here NRDC provides angel or seed funding if required. NRDC also handholds in solving the technical problems. And also, again, here we help the entrepreneurs in marketing their products and mentoring, and wherever there is assistance required to bring experts in this solving these problems or further scaling it up, we also do that. And one more important thing we do is for the labs, we collect also the royalty. Once the license is implemented, the company produces the product or service and markets. And there are, as my previous speaker said, there are two forms of fee collection. One is the upfront licensing fee, the other one is the recurring royalty. So NRDC collects the recurring royalty on behalf of the technology developer, and collects the royalty and remits back to the company or the institute which has given the technology goes for licensing and marketing. Probably, I think if you have the cell phones in your hands today, you can see that today just now a news has come. NRDC has paid 5 crores to the CSIR institutions as a royalty which was collected for the last year. NRDC paid 5 crores license fee to CSIR. Just now it has come to my mobile. So that is how every year NRDC consolidates the licensing fee as well as the royalty which we collect from the licensees, and we remit back to the institutions as per the agreed terms and conditions. So just last year's royalty was paid to one of our partner institutions, CSIR. It was paid only 2 days back. It has come in today's press. Then once the establishment of the venture is completed, the company will run it, and finally we evaluate whether the technology is successfully commercialized or not. So there ends our role. And as and when there are some problems, always the institute and the enterprise will coordinate, and wherever there is a requirement of NRDC, always NRDC will be there with them. This is how the NRDC licensing model is in operation. Another important activity NRDC has been implementing is, recently Government of India has announced IPR policy. It's going to be implemented soon. So before the policy is released and asked to implement, Government of India has given a task to us to create awareness about this IPR policy in the country. So Indian Patent Office and the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion has given a task to create awareness in the 300 universities, public funded universities. So we have started this program November 25th. Already we completed this program in about 10 universities, and across the country we are going to organize these IPR awareness programs. And the first phase in 25 states, 25 universities, we are taking on this program. And I would also like to tell you that NRDC, as I was telling you at the beginning, provides assistance for filing patents, both technical and commercial and financial assistance. So far, NRDC has supported filing around 1,700 patents. These patents have come from many of the public funded research institutions and individual inventors. That is one of the uniqueness of NRDC is, organization supports filing patents for the individual inventors. NRDC provides financial assistance. Financial assistance in the terms starting from a search report to drafting the patents, and then prosecuting the patent, and of course maintenance. In this process, what we do is we use the expert services of the patent attorneys. We have empaneled around 24 patent attorneys, the major patent attorneys in the country. They are empaneled with us. For example, Anand Anand, Anjan Sen, ITAC, the organizers of the conference is also one of our attorney. Then KHS partners, Purana, Regasis, many of the top class patent attorneys in this country, they are all empaneled with us, utilize their services in filing these patents in this country, as well as abroad. As I was telling you, I got a huge network of R&D partners. We name any R&D institution in the country, there are our partners, and we license their technologies. These are our customers, starting from Bharat Biotech, Healthcare, Swaraj Tractors, then TTK Healthcare, Reliance, ONGC, Oil India. There are a number of companies who are partners. These are some of the major technologies licensed to NRDC in the recent past. Probably, I think Indian surveyor, the Amul Baby Infant Food, which is a CFTRA, one of our sister institute, has developed this technology. Your license, this is the first license granted to NIDC to Dr. Kurian, who is the father of the white revolution in this country. He has signed this agreement with NIDC way back in I think late 80s, and this technology is still in the market. This technology will be licensed on exclusive basis to this company. And the 20 HP tractors again with one of our sister institutes, CMER in Durgapur, Central Mechanical Engineering Research Institute at Durgapur, has developed this technology. As you know, many Indian land holdings are small, the big tractors are not suitable. So this institute has developed this technology, and we license this technology to two companies. One is Punjab Tractors, the other one is International Tractors, which is being Sonalika, with the name of Sonalika, they are marketing these technologies. Not only they are producing in this country, they are exporting a few thousands of tractors across the world. The third major technology licensed by NRDC is the indelible ink, which we all use in our election purposes. When you vote, the ink is put on your finger to identify you already voted, you cannot vote again. That ink is again NRDC technology. This was developed for the National Physical Laboratory, licensed again this technology. On exclusive basis, Government of India asked us not to transfer this technology to more than one company because of security reasons. So license this technology to one company, Mysore Paints. This company for the last 30-35 years producing this product and selling it in the market. So other product is the artificial heart valve. This is also a very important technology. One of our institutes, Sri Chitra Kirana Institute, Thiruvananthapuram, has developed this artificial heart valve. And TTK Healthcare is manufacturing and we license this technology to TTK Healthcare. About 1 lakh heart valves have been already been transplanted in Indian patients. Other technology again, blood bag. This is also a very major technology for India. In fact, when we licensed this technology, India was importing these products from Japan, and when our product was coming to the market, Japan started dumping these products in Indian market with almost 50% of the cost what they were selling in Japan. And we collected this data from our embassies in Japan and put up the government of India saying that if Japan is dumping this product in India to kill our technology. So government of India got this data and realized that yes, this is really they put anti-dumping duty on importing those products in India, and that technology would save it. Now about 6 companies are manufacturing these bags and have been exporting this technology to various parts of the world. Similarly, there are a number of technologies, mini cement plants, then spirulina, water filter candles. I think there are NRDC, the storehouse of technologies. There are thousands of successful technologies, there are hundreds and thousands of failure cases also. There's got a lot of knowledge acquired over the years in transferring technologies. Apart from licensing of technology, to promote innovation and entrepreneurship in the country, we also give awards, national awards. Every year we give 3 awards. We call it the Innovation Award and Societal Innovation Award and then Budding Innovation Award for students. Apart from licensing technologies in India, NRDC also licenses technologies across the world. Like we have licensed technology sign MOUs with Ivory Coast, Gambia, Ghana, Democratic Republic, Congo, Tanzania, Cameroon, Rwanda, Kenya, Benin, Malaysia, Senegal, Vietnam, Nigeria, Japan, Germany, Sudan, Argentina. If you look at some of the projects technologies are exported to various countries like Indonesia, the rice particle board technology exported to Indonesia and Malaysia. Natural and synthetic dyes technology we exported to Vietnam. Chlorine tablets technology we exported to Bangladesh. Then dehydration of green pepper and exported to Indonesia. Water filter tablet technology exported to Indonesia again. Drugs technology exported to Brazil. And apart from that, we also help countries in setting up technology business incubators. One such technology incubation center was established in the Ivory Coast, West Africa. Here, what we did is the government of India asked us to set up this incubation center in Ivory Coast under the bilateral SND cooperation between India and Ivory Coast, Africa and West Africa. In this, what we did is we studied the country's resources, the manpower, and suggested a number of technologies can be implemented there to create wealth and employment in the country. As a pilot project, Government of India has asked us to set up a technology and business incubation center to identify 250 technologists from India, and we have taken the technologists, machines, entrepreneurs from India to Africa, and we set up this plant, this technology and business incubation center called CDT, Center for Technology Demonstration, Center for Demonstration of Technologies, and 250 technologists were established. We ran the center for 3 years from NRDC. Our people are posted there. Then at the end of the 3 years, almost 167 enterprises have emerged out of this experiment, emerged out of this technology business incubation center. Right now we are implementing one project in Ghana. Again in Ghana the problem is they have a lot of shortage of tomatoes. They are importing a lot of tomatoes from France and other countries. So under the bilateral collaboration program between Government of India and Ghana, again Government of India asked us to transfer a technology for producing high-yielding variety of tomatoes there in Ghana. So we have now, our team is working there. They have given a 15 acres site there in 3 different regions. We are taking a high-yielding tomato seeds from here and starting from a nursery to a complete production tomato in a commercial scale. We are going to demonstrate there. This plant is now being set up there.
Excuse me, Dr. Purushottam, if you could wrap up in the next
session. There are a number of technologies. One is that there are some case studies so that I will get to mention. Superabsorbent hydrogen. Again, this superabsorbent hydrogen has got a power to absorb 350% of its weight, the polymer, which can be used in the arid and semi-arid regions to make cultivation more productive and to overcome the drought-like conditions. This technology will assist to Reliance as well as Dr. Universal and will assist in fact to about 7 companies. Similar other technology called potassium humate from lignite, and this technology was licensed developed by NRC, Naval Lignite Corporation. So now this technology developed by NRDC, the valuation is in terms of patent filing, India and QCP, and we carry out a field trials, supported carrying out a field trials. These chemicals and technologies need to be validated by conducting large number of field trials across large arrays, which is quite expensive. That we have funded. Carry out a market survey for this, technical commercial support for generation of data, and finally this product was launched by again Professor Swaminathan, who is considered as the father of green revolution of our country. This technology was licensed to 8 companies. Similarly, neem-based biopesticide, again this technology was licensed to 8 companies. Of course, I am leaving all these slides with the organizers, interested participants can have it. This is another technology recently was showcased in the US. When Prime Minister Modi has visited the Indo-US Connect, one of our entrepreneurs who is producing this paraformone-based insecticide traps, which improves the productivity of all our fruit gardens. This technology was showcased there. This technology was licensed to 11 companies. Similarly, Cocolan, we have licensed this technology. This is a green carpet made out of a cocolan. Similarly, we have got another technology, Pixamar, for the same Panisome technology developed by KEM Hospital in Mumbai. We licensed this technology to 2 companies. And another vaccine for animals, again we licensed this technology to 2 companies, major companies. BT-based mosquito larvicide, again we licensed this technology to 11 companies. Sperm function test kit, again recently we transferred this technology to one company in Delhi, and with a 3% royalty and 4 lakhs upfront license fee. This product was launched, I think, during last 1 year. Yes, sir. Sold about 500.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not the moderator, but still, I think someone's got to do the bad job.
Anyway, what I would like to conclude is we need to create the equilibrium between the knowledge and wealth, which is represented by Goddess Saraswati and Goddess Lakshmi. As long as the developed countries are able to achieve the equilibrium between the intellectual property right, which is the major catalyst for creating wealth. So countries which have managed this equilibrium, they are going to advance the developed countries, and we need to manage that equilibrium. Thank you very much.